Potentially bad news for anyone looking to go on vacation to Alaska, Hawaii, Washington or California. The U.S. government has updated its list of the most dangerous volcanoes in the country, and these states have more than their fair share of representation. According to a new report from the U.S. Geological Survey, K&X12B, La in Hawaii, Mount St. Helens in Washington and Mount Rainier, also in Washington, are the three most dangerous volcanoes in the United States. There are 18 in total that are classified as a very high threat, largely due to where they are in relationship to people and the activity inside them. 11 of the 18 volcanoes are located in Washington, Oregon, or California, where explosive and often snow and ice-covered edifices can project hazards long distances to densely populated and highly developed areas. The study's abstract reads: 5 of the 18 very high-threat volcanoes are in Alaska near important population centers, economic infrastructure, or below busy air traffic corridors. The remaining 2 very high-threat volcanoes are on the island of Hawaii and X2BBI, where densely populated and highly developed areas now exist on the flanks of highly active volcanoes. The massive 2017 Mexican earthquake split a tectonic plate in two, and geologists are shaken. The abstract continues, the high and moderate threat categories are dominated by Alaskan volcanoes. In these categories, the generally more active and more explosive volcanoes in Alaska can have a substantial effect on national and international aviation, and large eruptions from any of the moderate to very high threat volcanoes could cause regional or national scale disasters. The list in order is as follows. 1. K&X12B, La High. 2. Mount St. Helens, Washington. 3. Mount Rainier, Washington. 4. Redoubt Volcano, Alaska. 5. Mount Shasta, California. 6. Mount Hood, Oregon. 7. Three Sisters, Oregon. 8. Kootenai Island, Alaska. 9. McCushin Volcano, Alaska. 10. Mount Spur, Alaska. 11. Lassen Volcanic Center, CA. 12. Augustine Volcano, Alaska. 13. Newberry Volcano, Oregon. 14. Mount Baker, Washington. 15. Glacier Peak, Washington. 16. Mauna Loa, Hawaii. 17. Crater Lake, Oregon. 18. Long Valley Caldera, California. The U.S. has 161 active volcanoes in total, a decrease of 8 from 2005 when the report was last updated, but the aforementioned 18 are considered the most dangerous. This report may come as a surprise to many, but not to volcanologists, said Concord University volcano expert Janine Krippner. The USA is one of the most active countries in the world when it comes to volcanic activity, she said, noting there have been 120 eruptions in U.S. volcanoes since 1980. Kilauea is the most active volcano in the United States and it's got a lot of development right on its flanks, said government volcanologist John Ewart, the report's chief author. He said Hilo, Hawaii, is probably the biggest city in the United States and a hazard area for a very high-threat volcano, Mauna Loa. The Great Dying, what made Earth's deadliest extinction so disastrous? Ewart said the threat rankings aren't about what will blow next, but the potential severity of the damage. Also included in the report are 39 high volcanoes, 49 are considered moderate threats, 34 have the designation low threat and 21 are listed as very low. Denison University volcanologist Eric Clementi said the United States is sorely deficient in monitoring for many of the so-called Big 18. Many of the volcanoes in the Cascades of Oregon and Washington have few, if any, direct monitoring beyond 1 or 2 seismometers, Clementi said in an email. Once you move down into the high and moderate threat volcanoes, it gets even dicier. A new supervolcano was brewing under Massachusetts, New Hampshire and Vermont. There's been a lot of speculation of a super eruption at Yellowstone, but Mike Poland, the scientist in charge of the Yellowstone Volcano Observatory, said, "We don't really have any indication that Yellowstone is doing anything abnormal." The Associated Press contributed to this report. Follow Chris Chiachia on Twitter at Chris_Chiachia. Follow Chris Chiachia on Twitter at Chris_Chiachia.